Hello, hello, hello. We're here. We're doing it. We're doing the stream. Welcome, one and all. Evening, afternoon, etc. Harand, Matthias, Connor, Daz, AC, Julian, Ali. Hello, hello, hello. Let's do it. Let's do some coding. We're gonna do some coding. We're gonna do some graphics. It's gonna be grand time. Is gonna be had by all. So today's plan is. Where did we leave off last time? This week has been an absolute blur for me. We got custom level loading. Has anyone written a level yet? Quacko, hello. So we got custom level loading, which is pretty sweet. And then now I want to go and start adding. I want to start upping the graphics a little bit. One more before we start though. I promise. Well, no. I lie. I have been since playing around with reflection more, and I do have one more show and tell to do. Then we'll get on to it. So I've been writing a little web framework with reflection. So you can now got constructed a system like this, where you can basically make a HTTP request to this server. This will spin up a HTTP server, and if you do greeting/simple and make it a GET request, it will automatically arrive at this function, and then this will come back as a 200, and it will reflect it out for you. There's no macros, there's no registry other than just registering the controller. It does everything for you. It automatically reflects out the root names and everything, which I think is pretty cool. And then so this has a reflection-based web server, dependency injection, JSON serialization, and a little database ORM, if you will. So a more compelling example, I guess, is this. So product add, if you post to it a JSON which looks like this, the JSON gets automatically deserialized into an object for you, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You can then slap this any class you want into the database. If it doesn't exist, the database, the DB runner will automatically construct a table for you with these fields. Notice how you can even tag this as an ID, so it knows which one the ID is. And then it will just insert those for you. And then again, you can return any object you want, and this will get automatically JSONerized for you, all with reflection. So I think this is quite exciting. I think this is where this is the next evolution of C++, where it's just kind of like just types you want, and then all the mechanics is kind of handed for you. Indeed, who is Jason? Yeah, I posted this on Discord as a little plug to Discord on the project showcase. I'd say most of it's kind of okay. I think the gnarliest bit is the dependency injection, which we went through last time, and some of the JSON serializing stuff. So going from a string to an object is actually not that bad. You literally just like go through all the members of it. So you basically give it a JSON string and say, can you turn it into this object here? So then what you do is you go through all the members of that object, the non-static members. So if it's a struct, it'll be all the public member fields. And then you basically say, does that string exist in the JSON? If it is, just slap it in. It's super easy. It's super nice. Going the other way is slightly more troubling because you have to recursively serialize if you want to support arrays and dictionaries, which I do. So you kind of have to go through this horror here. And then I've just used a bit of template specialization to basically say, here's handle the values. If you pass it a vector, do this. If you pass it a map, do this. Note it's a map, not an unordered map, because my custom build of Clang and libc++ does not include the std hash symbol for some reason, so I can't use unordered map. It refuses to work, and it was not worth me fixing. Okay, well, I apologize. Your Wi-Fi is not good enough. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Apparently, it should be simplified with this template of type of carry vector. I couldn't get it to work, so I went with as I said, old reliable template specialization. I think actually the gnarliest bit in this is probably in the control base. So if you use C++23 deducing this, I found that if you take the meta info of this, then you get the base class, which is really nice. So anything that's deriving from this, I can ask for its name, and then this just basically inherits that functionality, which I thought was quite neat. And then this is how you resolve the function based on the name. So if I give it / whatever, this is how it goes through all the member. It goes through all the member functions. It goes through all the annotations. It finds whether the correct, the get or the post or whatever, whether the right method. And then you just have to splice the meta info into deducing this member call to get a value via promise from a return to coroutine. Like that. And then you're done. Ship it. So anyway, that was. I'm going to stop with reflection now. I feel like I've had a bit of a play around with it, and I have other projects I want to do. But that was good fun. If anyone's interested, do reach out on Discord. I'm happy to chat more about it. Indeed, it's basically a monoid in the category of endofunctors. Like, well, you can reflect those now, so it's a reflected monoid, and the category is relevant. Well, I think so. What if you mean fixing the flaw is it will not look this good. Let's just set expectations straight. It will not look this good, but I want to, because there's definitely path trace this. I want to start bringing in this map into the game, and then have the barrels sitting in here. We obviously won't have a reflective flaw, but something we could possibly add. We won't have global illumination, and I definitely won't be adding that. But yeah, I think we can start. Maybe we could probably slap in some screen space ambient occlusion. We can sow it if we need to. No backlight, nothing like that. It's going to look naff, but it's going to be naff that we wrote from scratch, and that's the most important thing. So yeah, let's give this a go. Let's see what we get to. I think we're all. Oh, I forgot to comment what stream the last one was. Naughty me. Stream 63. Stick that in the git hole. Right. Let me just copy this FBX file over. So what I have this assets pack that I've purchased. I've checked the license. It's okay for me to distribute it as long as I don't distribute the raw file. It's basically something like that. Like you shouldn't just give people the assets, but as it's compact into a binary file and then compressed, I consider that. I'm not a lawyer, but I consider that not distributing the raw file. And also, it's not the actual file because I pull out the raw triangles, the raw vertices. Temperature's fine. Yes, we're going to start trying to wire these assets in. I've never loaded anything this complex. I assume it's all because it's just one FBX file, right? I assume I'm going to have to pass out all the submeshes, the relative positioning, the scaling, like. Who knows? It could be an absolute disaster. So let's start, and I think we will go on the voyage of misery together. Well, this is definitely one of those things where it will not work, and I would then spend however long if I was doing this by myself just bashing my head against it. So at least we can all do it together. So let's stick it in the assets hole. Okay. No, I'm not doing any. Yeah, there's no skinning animation data because I don't support skeletal animation in this. That's a future project. I've done it before, and it's like most problems. It's probably good fun for the first day or two, maybe the first week. After that, it gets a little bit tedious. But I have done it before, so we will do it again if needed. But I'm not planning on doing it for this. So I think we can just. I'm just going to remove the resources file, and let's just. How do I run the resource packer myself? Good. Oh, is it now in like debug? I don't know what any of my code is. I don't know how any of this works. Dot type F. Oh, I've obviously searched for this before because it's in my bash history. Right. Of course. Of course. It's in packer / debug. Just because I want to see the real-time output from this. Chillable. Hello. Yes, I agree. Yeah, yeah. Getting the T pose, great. Everything after that. Oh, so that crashed? Question mark. Today we're going to be trying to load something a little bit more complex like this, but it won't look that good. So I'm just setting expectations now. Will not look this good. At best, it will be grey. Chiller bye. Apologies. At the moment, it's going to be a puzzle game. I reserve the right to change it to an FPS later. It's okay. You're just lucky Nightbot didn't catch you out. I know, right? Okay, so I guess we got this is our first task for today is to figure out why this crashed. Can I run this through VS Code? I feel like cool. What's the updates in VS Code? Okay, MCP. I'm gonna write an MCP plugin for RenderDoc and then just get it to answer all my woes for me. So I want this to run build. Actually, I feel like this should probably be a separate configuration so I can switch between the two. Watch this. Right. So the first part of today's stream is JSON wrangling, obviously. Tools, resource packer, debug, resource packer XE. So tools, resource packer, debug, sure. Resource packer, game, and then this current working directory. If I run it from the build directory, then the args can be /assets, and then resources. Okay, apparently I only have some of the bin bindings on this, but not all of them. Okay, so now if I remember how to VS Code. Nope. Steady, stay on target. Resource packer. Let's fire this off and see what we get. I'd like some output, please. Okay. Apparently output's over here. I guess it's set to run as a window, but it did die. Throw system error from stubborn error. Good. Okay. JSON's fine. We could reflect it if we need to. My opinion is that I've only used RenderDoc and it's solved 100% of the problems that I've managed to solve with it. So that's my opinion. Again, I could be better with tooling, but it's enough to kind of get me going. Ah, yes, Chillaby. Currently making a game, your first game, and you didn't think about how much you needed to do for the game. Welcome. We are 63 streams in from doing this from scratch, and I just about have some stuff moving around on the screen. So I feel your pain. I thought we did support FBX files because is that not how the barrels are loaded? Oh, those obj files. Oh, okay. Well remembered. So do I have it as a, what have we got here? I do have it as an obj. Indeed. I would agree. Do not do what I'm doing. Okay, fine. So we have the Hook Factory Hall renovated. I also have Factory Hall derelict and Factory Hall like halfway between clean and rundown. So we have thematic choicing later down the line. Okay, fine. Let's take this, stick this in here, and then remove the. Also, what is it? Where's that? Where's that zone? Did I make that? I'll just delete those. Okay, this will work. I'm so confident I don't even need the debugger. Loading, so it's loading some materials. That's fine because I don't use the materials. Is it okay? Thanks. Did I hit the Discord notification? I think I did. Okay, thanks WSL. Spin it off. Should just use Linux. Okay. We've packed things. I can't really tell you what they are because some of these look like material names. But like, I guess we just try loading one of these and seeing what happens. My worry is that they're all going to be model space origin 000. I'm not going to know. My real concern is that we're going to have to load all these individually and then place them here. Like, how do I blend that? Okay, how can I see the hierarchy of objects here? Like, how do I see the world space position of, say, this object? I do not know how to blender. My Mayor license expired and I refuse to renew it, so I'm stuck with this. Modeling, is that what I want? Oh, hello. Ooh, bleh, bleh, bleh. Shift mouse, shift. Yeah. I want to be in the level, but not. How do I? Oh Jesus! Watch a man fail to blend. I have thoughts on RMS. Okay, so say I want. Well, I can't click anything now. How does? I thought I'd want modeling. Here you go. Jeez. So there's like main floor, lower roof, light block. These are the things that I want to load, right? I want a sliding door. I want. What's on top right? Options. No. Wait. View. I hit tab. Look at that. I'm learning. Thanks, Connor. Okay. So these all seem... So are these all... Oh, Jesus. Are these all... It's getting on my Swede, this. Okay. Are these all columns? So is this all one model, right? If I load in columns, do I instantly get all of these? So the worst comes to the worst, I can probably write a Python script, which Blender will run Python, right? So I can probably iterate through the objects and produce some sort of JSON or YAML file, which has them in, and then we can have maybe like a level manifest or something, which loads it. Okay. I'm just going to try and load columns, right? Let's do that. So if I click this, do I get the colors? Okay. Columns is separate to roof beams, which is separate to roof beams 0001. These are not baked. Get out of here. If you're not... Okay. I'm going to try loading columns. I'm no English professor, but I thought columns had an N in it. So an artist, a man or woman or person after my own heart. Okay, so we've got golems, okay. So I'm gonna that is packed. Okay, that is whichever way you cut it. That is. Oh no, it's crashed. It's crashed again, hasn't it? What's the code doing? So it's okay. Okay, so get the right thing a minute. Well, strapping chaps. It's going to be one of those streams. Quite possibly translation area. Yeah, well, I don't even know how I'm packing any of this. So I go object, I then do the classic AI get predefined log stream, and then I do AI attach log stream. I think there's macros, which is why they don't have the global operator on it. And then I'm like, but I get all the meshes, right? Whatever Asimp has passed the obj file and given me a collection of meshes, and within that it has said these are meshes, right? Oh, I bet light is actually one of these. No, that's lamp. Okay, in which case I don't know what I'm talking about. Where's the... So it really doesn't like light. Let's give this another spin. No, I don't think I've got the logging error warnings to ever work. So it does give me. Oh, no, these are the errors here. These are them here. Literally, like this is Asimp's internal logging. Failed to locate material light, and then it's like I can't find this material called light, but I'm sure I'm going to tell you there's a mesh called light, and that is not fair. It's producing weird artifacts again. Like, why? Where's? I feel I may have maybe, to quote the bard, I may be wasted by my own petard here. Ah, that's better. Now we're compressing. Okay. No, I have the blend file open in Blender, which I believe is the preferred file extension for Blender. Well, that ran successfully. What do we get out of here? I mean, the coulombs, the unit of charge, we've definitely packed that. Let's try this. In our, where we build out the cache of all the loaded materials, right? So we should be able to do columns, right? That should columns. Fix them. We can fix it there. So this should, in theory, if I remember all the machinery we wrote into my resource cache as a mesh, because it's templated, obviously, why would it not be? This should read something called columns from the reader, check it's a mesh, load it in. Let's see if that at least blends. I mean, it's just stood format, right? So I could format it, but I believe you can format it with the commas. I've just chosen not to. Quacko slowly leaking information about his real life. Should I not spend more time on what I want to do instead of the packing stuff? The packing stuff enables me to do what I want to do. Unless you're talking about adding the comma separators for numbers, in which case I will not be doing that. Oh, what is it? What's... One day. I think it's this one. Problem is my history is now full of weird, like, CMake commands using rando builds of Clang. It's fine. It's fine. We'll all cope together. Go you. Okay. Okay. Let's try again. One more time with feeling. Okay, so that'll do, and then what we can do is in the Lua level where we set up the level, we have a floor somewhere. We create a floor entity. We should be able to just change this for columns, keep the material, so it'll be the checkered one. We should see them pop up, right? And then we can just adjust the scale. And then we can just build a little bit of code here, which hopefully assembles everything. So my plan is to load all the materials. Sorry, no, that's not my plan. And I will start again. My plan is to load all the meshes, get them laid out how we want, and then figure out the materials, and then load those in, get it all slapped up, bish bash bosh, call it a day, ship it. Then I'm thinking after we've got this kind of looking a little bit better, we'll take a view. We will have to integrate some more physics because I don't want people to have to clip outside the level, and I don't. The columns are going to produce some sort of physical obstruction, and again, same for the meshes. Whether we do that manually by just using Jolt's collision detection, or we effectively roll our own character controller, which I'm tempted to do. I don't know. We'll take a view on whether that's important then not. The two big technological hurdles left. That is text rendering, which then enables menus and inputs and the kind of the actual bit that makes it sort of a game. And then apparently I'm live. That's good to know. Well, you're gonna have to have some sort of like level select button, presumably, or start or save, or I don't know, exit menu, pause menu. Like the whole UI is going to be driven by, I'm going to need to be able to render text. I would like to do it all in game. I don't want to just produce a load of graphics. So I want to be able to potentially at least all the text rendering. I haven't quite thought that far ahead yet, but I think we're going to need text rendering. And after that, sound, which I have absolutely no idea about. Never done it before, so we'll figure that out. And then probably like some sort of basic level editor, maybe, so we can quickly smash out the end of the last of the levels, and then we're basically done. Okay, so does this run? I will probably hand roll text rendering. Well, I'll probably use the window. Is it direct text? What have I used before? So I have done some of this before, but I can't remember where. I have text factory. Yeah, so I've done it using dwrite before, where you use the classic ID2D21 factory, because you don't want any of the other factories. It's very important that you have the ID2D21. And then something write in the texts, create text format, create a layout, make sure those are 99999. Obviously, that was very important at the time. Do some com, because what is Windows programming without com? Create a bitmap, create a pixel format, create a wick bitmap format, create a solid color brush, begin the draw, end the draw, fix up some pixels because they were wrong apparently, and then convert to a texture. Bish bash bosh, done. I will probably do it the naive way as well, where I will start off by just rendering each string into a separate texture to get going, and then eventually might transition over to a full texture atlas, which renders all the glyphs you might need, and then the text picks them out and knows the relative offset and draws them as a series of triangles. But to start with, I think I'd probably just slap in that. I don't know. I'll take a view on it if we think we need it, because I could just create a load of images for the menus and stuff like that. It just means localization, I guess, or you just have to produce all the images. But I'm not going to do that fancy. What's the one that Valve came up with, where it's like the depth of field, whatever it is, so it looks good on any kind of splattered on any kind of surface. Like I might just do it for UI, and then sound I have no idea about. Not a clue. Gonna figure it out. I'm hoping there's an I2 D2 R2 D2 sound factory I can co-instance create. All right, we'll crash. We are exceptioning. Could not find mesh at 102, which is interesting. What? Where? Give me one. What? Why could you not find that? Depends how much time I want to put in this to save time in the next project. Probably, I'd rather push the misery, rather kick the can down the road. Well, I've obviously got this initial shading group metal barrel mesh at _25. That was obviously an important name at the time, so maybe columns isn't the right name. So on the resource packer again, see what we get out of it. This is the fiddly bit. I like how there's a little space here as well. That's nice. So where do I pack this? Where does... Here we go. Packing initial shading group metal barrel mesh _25. So I don't understand why packing that works. So packing... Oh, have I cased it wrong? I have. What, full? Absolute full. Made me look like a right mug. Turns out I can't spell columns. Could not. Oh, probably have to rebuild it first, don't I? It's not Python. We all hate strings. At least they're not white strings. No offense to any UTF-16 fans out there, but it is wrong. Hot take. Oh, is it still loading behind? I really need to reboot my machine and see if this fixes it. Okay, that's fine. Insofar as it's not crashed. Lower level. Floor, let's do... Ooh. Where did you see mesh group? Okay. Okay. Ooh. Oh, what's this? Could this be a column on its side? Oh, it does not like the frustrum column for this. I might temporarily disable that. What do you reckon? It's got a little bit of a... Oh, no, of course not. It's going to have all the scaling I use for the floor, right? Because I scale a box to be the size of the floor. That's obviously not going to work. Right, let's do a couple of things. Let's go to the renderer and let's remove my precious range-based filter. All right, so we just render everything. We've got CPU cores to spare. And then let's get rid of that. And then this, I probably want it just to be scaled like 1, 1, 1, 1. Bear in mind, it could also be rotated. Question mark. Not make. That was the other project. I don't know what opinion I have on licenses. I'm trying to think. Like, if they own the software, right? If they own the intellectual property, they are. I would say they're free to presumably give it whatever license it wants, right? It's still intellectual property at the end of the day. They, as much as you want to hate a large company, they still they still probably want to profit off of the work that they produced. You're obviously free to use whatever license you want. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form, any sort of intellectual property legal matters, so I couldn't say whether what they pick is right or wrong, or incompatible, or good or bad. But I feel generally a lot of big companies are moving more towards open source. Microsoft's got loads of open source stuff. So yeah, don't know. Yes, indeed, under the license. I don't know. I feel like you have a specific situation in mind. Without knowing some more context, I'm very hesitant to weigh in on a matter that I'm not an expert in. That feels like the wrong thing to do. Yeah, exactly. Like the idea that all software should be free, I think, is also like wrong. People deserve to be paid for the work they do. Oh, look at that, columns. It's a little bit small. It's it's very small level, but it's that was easy. Indeed, we're there. I forgot these are moving as well. Okay, so let's just load the rest of them, and then I guess we can kind of scale them all up as we need. So the first thing to do is to I feel like in the nice possible way, you clearly have an axe to grind over this. I've offered you what opinion I have. If it doesn't quite mesh up with yours, then I apologize. Like again, I feel software people like intellectual property is important. Whether it should continue for as long as it does before it goes into the public domain, that's a separate discussion to have. But yeah, I'm not going to stand here and say that all software licenses are bad. Reviving a game as complex as that is kind of tricky, right? Because it was a live service game. That's the one that kicked off the Stop Getting Games movement, right? Is that the game? The game. It's the car racing game, isn't it? As far as I'm aware, there is an offline component to it, so it should be just just removing the code that does the checks for a network, like a server to be present. But you know, I imagine it's not trivial to do unless you have the source code and the toolchain to build it. There's no rule breaking. I just tried to keep. I'm just. I'd like to keep as many personal details of my life out of the public chat as possible. If that's okay with you. Okay, right. So what we need to do is this floor now needs to become like level entities, and then where we add the floor here, we'll just loop through them and add them, and that should be fine because I think they just have to exist in memory somewhere. So what we can do is the level basically what's shapes when it's at home? Oh, that's for the physics. Okay, fine. So floor will become I appreciate it. So vector entity of I don't know. Level entities? Is level right? World? Bally, glad you're here. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. They're good fun to make. I'm currently in the midst, kind of ish. I took a bit of a break to do some C++ stuff, but I'm hoping to head back to a new reverse engineering project, I imagine tomorrow after the stream. Call it level entities for want of a better word. I just naming things is hard and I always get it wrong. Okay, so this I want to. Why does it have a? Why has it got a physics shape? That's the bounding box, isn't it? For the freshman culling, which would have been broken. Yes, okay, fine. Let's delete this. AC, just resubscribing for 8 months on Twitch. Thank you very much. Also, our local friendly Discord admin. Hit sub goal, but I'm smashing out of the park on Twitch today. It's all just AC donating on alts. Okay, so let's do level entity. What I want to try and do is just refactor that, effectively add one layer of abstraction, right? So still load the columns, but going via the level entities. Okay, so is that what I want? Probably want some more brackets. Man, that is gross. For const auto ent in level entities ent. Obviously we have to now remember that I bet it can't be const. Level entities should now be static or like sealed off because these are pointers. If we add anything to the level entities, then we risk those pointers moving around at the moment. Yes, because they're pointers into this array. So if they shuffle around, those pointers will become invalid. So we have the potential of there being a dangling pointer here. It's fine because we shouldn't be adding anything to that after we've done it, but it's just just a future, let's say muscle memory, future bear trap waiting to happen. Yes, and Anonymous, feel free to head over to the Discord. We have a reverse engineering channel, which is probably our busiest one, and there's always people willing to help out there and stuff. So I will not have any time in this live stream really to help any specific issues, but over there he might hopefully get some support. Yes, exactly. We designated these. Look at them all. Pretty sweet. Probably could name them as well, like I have above, but what are you gonna do? Right, so hopefully this looks exactly the same. Nailed it. Absolutely crushed it. Right, well now we get to play the game of enumerate this on the left and hope I get them all. So, strap in, chaps. Okay. Let's go game. Let's go here. Let's load all these into the... So what we got? We've got a... I don't know how best to do it. I guess just start at the top and hope for the best. This could definitely be like cogent or something, but I think the issue is that I guess we just chat while we're here. The issue is that there's no concept of ownership in the or hierarchy in the binary blob of assets. So it's not like I can say load this level geometry and it knows, oh, I know all these were part of it. It's just flat. Yeah, well, the other thing is like, oh, I could iterate over it, but how? And then just give it the same name. It's not really. It's well, I was thinking is I could just iterate over it and then have a lookup for the name, but I'm still writing out all the code anyway. I might as well just do it like this. Door rail, light block, light block. Okay, not that. We've got the lower roof, which is the lower roof. Oh yes, this is again why I want to remap the names, because this is how it's spelled in the old blendery do file. Got the lower roof, got the main floor. That is my typo, not theirs. And then we've got the main walls. I'm sensing a sweet Vim macro later to convert all these into the code to actually build it. I can feel it coming. And then I can spend at least 10 minutes unpicking the mess that I've made. Roof. The roof. Okay, and then we've got skylight frame. skylight frame. Oh, I got every single one of those wrong. Skylight frame, and then I've got skylight frame 001, and I'm not convinced. I think if we're missing one small asset, who's going to know? It's my game. It's our game. So then we've got skylight glass pane. But is this what real game devs like if you work in a studio? Is it just transcribing entity names from one format to another? Skylight. Is this why it takes so long to make AAA games? Indeed, it is on fire. Why am I importing the meshes from Blender into the game? I mean, how else would we use them? I feel like I misunderstood the question because my snarky answer is that's the only way we can use them, but I feel like that's unfair, and I would very much like to know more about what the question is. Sliding door. Sliding. Oh, how? I thought you said why. We have a, so I take my snarky answer back. We have a separate application called a resource packer, which loads the obj file that I've got for this assets, and that uses a third-party library called async, which loads them all, which parses it, and then extracts out the raw mesh data, sticks those in a binary format, and then the game loads that binary format, and then gives me access via this reader into those names. It basically tags them all with a name. So I say, into this resource cache, insert a mesh, call it this, but get it from here, look for this. So yeah, sorry. It's all right. It's Obj is the only file format that I managed to get to work. So literally that is my entire decision process, is that FPX was being a dick. Then I've got sliding door frame. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We are so close to being there. Watching the number of people who are here watching us tick down as I faff around with this. Steady. Okay, we're at the W's now, and they're in alphabetical order, apart from the ones that are in a different section. Beams, then window frame, window frame, and then most importantly, there's window frames, and this has a lowercase f. So I was going to catch us out. Yeah, window frame, or Linux. It could be either. I guess yeah, I should probably use Jiltif, but here we are. I've made my bed, and I must now lay in it, and we must all suffer because of my terrible decisions. Right. 3, 5 left. Let's smash it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go lamps. Now, so we're going to have some lamps. That's what we're going to have. Decided. We need them. We want them. We're going to have a lower roof framing. The whole thing will look ridiculous without that. Lower roof framing. And then we're going to have a roof beams. Again, what kind of fool would not load the roof beams? And then we've got roof framing. Not really sure what that is, but I want it. I've paid for it. Roof framing, and then tap, the most important one of all, because it would look absolutely ridiculous without the tap. Got those casings the wrong way around. Right. Put this in App Explorer because it appeases me. Whoa. Yes, I was using CI quote, but just sometimes I forget. But yes, I'm aware of that. So it's probably the most sane C++ I've written. Yes, I've written some pretty mad C++ so far. Right, let's just check that these load. I mean, I've got no typos or anything. And then we will continue. I don't think it'll be too bad because all the entity data will basically be the same. I'll probably just create like a template entity and just stamp in. It'll make sense. I think I know what I'm doing. It's gonna load. Oh dear, could not find mesh. It's really important that I did not include the name of the mesh that I couldn't find. Could not find mesh. That was a key design decision there, because it's so, and there's no excuse because it's so easy with all the stud format stuff I've got going on. Yeah, it is nice to have someone who's relentlessly enthusiastic about this project, because I must admit I'm not always. So it's nice that people are still interested in it, because I've said this before. If I wasn't doing this live, I would have given up on this long ago and gone and found something new and shiny to work on. So yeah, it's all good fun. Door rail. Always giving me jip that. I bet is some of these, they have very mixed capitalization. This. No, that is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is indeed a door rail. Yeah, possibly. Don't need it anyway. You're asking me or Connor what the thoughts are on the project? I did just double click into the box and it didn't seem to have trading space, so it'd be weird if it had it. So my general thoughts on the project is I am generally pretty pleased with it. I think the code is reasonably good, given that I started out with zero plan. I had no architecture in mind. I just started coding live. I think the architecture is okay. There's definitely some bits I would change. I really don't like how uniforms are handled with like the weird callback. That could definitely be sacked off. I think the renderer is okay for a basic renderer. Like it, it's not fancy, but it works. The asset pipeline is pretty good now. The Lua scripting I think is pretty nice. Like I'm pretty pleased with a lot of it. I think the logging is an absolute highlight for me. Only took 2 streams to get it working, and then another few more to fix the weird bugs. But yeah, I'm generally quite pleased with it. I think it very much would not scale to a. See the more. I really don't think it would scale to a large game, like a large project, or with multiple people working on it. But I think for the specific purpose of making a small self-contained game from scratch, I think it'd be okay. I don't think we've architecturally backed ourselves into a corner yet. No, I think the next project, which I will probably want to be slightly more ambitious, I'll probably start again from scratch, just pulling in bits from this and making those architectural changes that I want as we go along. It seems like it's cool that you go back and watch them. I have no idea what people make, what people use. How many people go and use those VODs. I don't really check the analytics, but it's it must be quite interesting to look back. Okay, so this is concerning me because right below door rail is glass panes, and this is from the packer again. And I want to see if it outputs those, if there's mirrors. Cat typing, nice. I appreciate your pain. I feel it. No, it's true. Well, I think I am tempted to go back and do a bit more on the rendering side of it. Maybe add some SAO or FBX or some other acronyms. I would want to write. I think I would want to challenge myself for the next game and write maybe a deferred renderer, like something a little bit more complex. I don't think I need a full forward clustered CPU driven. What's it where the compute shader generates the render commands? Direct drawing, one of those. I don't think I need all that, but I think maybe doing like a pretty sweet deferred renderer would be fun. I'd like to tackle like I would like to try to tackle multi-threading. I am pretty keen to keep the single threaded this game, to keep it simple enough that it can run under a single thread. I would like to tackle having, maybe like the Doom 3 architecture where you had one thread that produced render commands and that just sent it over to the renderer, or just like a scale, or just take the job system we've got and scale it out. I don't know. I would like to go for a slightly more advanced renderer and then something a little bit more. I'd love to make an FPS, but I just don't know what the end goal, like what's the simplest FPS you could make? Like, it's obviously not going to have it's not going to have loads and loads of levels, and it can't have loads and loads of assets. Yeah, and I kind of still want to stick with OpenGL just because I know it better. Yeah, I don't think. You mean the first Doom? Yeah, I'm just trying to think like, but I don't want to do a what do they call it, scanline render or anything. I'd want to use a rasterizer. I think I'm using all the right words. Why is it underscored all the names? Okay, fine. So that's that'll work. So yeah, I think. Oh, it did crash. It's something's got a handle to it. Was the game? I don't know. I'll live. Again, I don't. Well, the thing for me is like, if I'm going to stand up here, I've said this many times before. If I'm going to stand up here in front of, like, what we've got now, we've got 120 people here. Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And that number, in theory, like the dream is that number scales up. If I'm going to stand here in front of that many people and try and entertain and engage and to a certain extent educate and try and make progress, I kind of need to stack the deck a little bit in my favor. Like, I think part of the fun is figuring out new stuff. Like, we figured out all the Jolt API together, not all of it. Like, we figured out a lot of the Lua bindings stuff. But to actually get something on the screen, I think I'm better off sticking with what I know, which is why I really don't want to do Vulkan, like, at all. I just have no interest in doing Vulkan. I just think I'd spend so long trying to get something suboptimal working. I just don't think that's fun for anyone. Interesting wall beams. I sort of had a go at that one. So Like not personally, but I know of him. Yeah, I really like to do that where literally the first thing is a task that goes into the job system and then it just spawns other tasks from there. I think that would be really cool. I'd love to do multiplayer as well. I would love to make an arena shooter. I would love to make like Halo 2. Yeah. I would like to make an FPS. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe like a proof of concept FPS. Maybe we just like a demo. Maybe that's what we do. Is we don't make a full game. The next project is an FPS demo with an upgraded renderer, an uprated job system, better physics integration, and you can just run around and shoot a few things. Skeletal animation. I think we could put a huge amount. I think that could easily take a year, right? If I only do 2 streams a week for a couple of hours, that could easily be a quite a chunky project to have a fully self-contained. I like to because like was it like the texture splattering, like the decals, doing all that through the deferred renderer. I think there's loads of interesting stuff you could do. Maybe it's just like I buy a bunch of assets. I buy like some gun, like 2 guns, a level, and an alien model or something to shoot at off of CG Trader, and we just make that into like a demo. So yeah, it's true. Like this is a long running series, but still people still show up and we get new people in. Like doing small self contained things is great, but I really like the idea of just sitting down working on a long running project that people can invest their time in. Did someone say I had another case wrong? Yeah, the problem is though that like now I'm already excited about the next project. I'm already thinking about it, and I don't want that to make me burn out on this. So I'm trying not to focus too much. It's fun to talk about and to speculate, but I really want to make sure I focus this. I really want this to be finished. Like this is not going to be what we're making now. It's not going to be a great game. It's going to have a handful of levels, but it's going to have everything. I'm determined for it to have basically everything that makes it a game: sound, menus, obviously graphics. Like that whole thing. So I can just say, here's something we made entirely from scratch, not including Jolt. That's kind of the aim. That's where I want to get to. I think towards the end of the year, like I generally think towards the end of the year we'll be getting there. Exactly. It's a playable thing that we made, and that's kind of all I want. Like it doesn't have to be great, but I think just I need to understand the effort of going from int main to game. Like that's why the series is called that. I need to experience the full process of what it means, so that when I plan like a bigger project, I've got a reference point. It's like, oh, that shitty game with the barrels that took me a year to make. So what's that as a multiplier? And what's the next thing I want to do? No, we've already done serialization. It's already hand rolled. I just use a custom TLV format, so that's already handled. And then I just use libzisted to compress it. So yeah, that's my plan, is to try and keep grounded, try and keep realistic, finish this, and then use that as a yardstick for kind of future effort. Oh, Hasby, resub 5 months. Thank you very much. Could not find mesh lamps. Well, we've got much further down. We are. It's definitely called lamps. Have I cased that wrong? I have. Whew. Sorry, this is boring, but we can chat. It's fun. Someone did point lamps out, and I completely ignored them, and that is just egg all over my face. Indeed. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you're not, do come along to Discord. There's a few perks for subs and members and stuff. Otherwise, it's generally a good time to have by all. I'm also thinking, and discussing this AC as well, how to better kind of jazz up the streams a little bit with more interaction. I know that there's you can tell I'm a professional streamer. On Twitch, there's channel points. I think I want to try and come up with stuff that you can use with those more. So I'm kind of open to suggestions, but I reserve the right to not to do any of them. I think because I like this to be semi-professional and not too distracting. Stuff like silly challenges and stuff, which might be great if you're playing a game. Like I think I don't want anything that detracts me away from kind of writing code. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, well, I think I'll limit them. You can limit them to like so many per stream. So I think we'll start off with that and then widen it out. I'm also toying with the idea of text to speech TTS. I don't know what people's thoughts are on that. Okay, fine. So we're in business. We've loaded every single mesh. They're in memory. They're in the graphics card. We're hot to trot on those. Oh, we'll enhance the shorts. Because you have to remember, the real reason I stream is shorts fodder. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. That's fine. Like, again, I don't mind it being a little more jovial and a little bit more interactive. I just don't want it to be like, oh, like, I don't know. I was asking the Oracle, as you do, on suggestions for things to, like, ways to interact with people. And it could be like, they can pay some number of bits and it changes the font size or changes your theme color. And I was like, that sounds really fucking annoying, and I have zero interest in that. So it's kind of ways of interacting more with people. I don't know. We're banding some ideas around at the moment, and I might try rolling out a few for the next stream. Exactly, yeah. I don't want anything gimmicky, right? It's a professional. This is a professional outfit. I wear a shirt. It's clearly professional. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that is just like, it's just a massive pain. Okay, right. So let's go to, I'm going to tentatively, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm going to be very non-committal on what I'm doing. I'm going to take all those and turn over to the Lua level. And I'm going to slap them in there. So really, the only thing that's different in here, to be honest, actually, I just turned this into an array of strings, right? That's all this has got to become. Right, let's see if I can do this. Right, so const auto level entity names equals probably gonna need a type there. Okay. Could be string view. What's resource cache get take? String view. Nice. Okay, fine. Have I got, I do. Okay. In fact, I can use CTAD, right? Let's be super modern. Let's go at least C++17 here. Cheers, Harand. You'll hopefully see you soon, and you can see the wonderful level that we built. Columns are misspelt. Yes, it's like that in the mesh. It's like that in the asset file. I didn't make it. I just purchased it. But good spot. Remain ever vigilant. I cannot spell. So okay, I'm going to try doing QA to the beginning, delete till just before the first quote, go to the second quote, go right two, back one because I've changed my mind, in, make it a string view, go right, D to the end, end. Nailed it. Absolutely crushed it. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. And now, oh, I can use a range. I can use a range. I can be like stud, views, transform. I should even give it the thing. I can be like, take the level, entity names, right? Pipe that into transform, which will take that and const auto E, right? Yeah, here we go. And then stick the E in there, then return that. Let's go down there. Let's go to the end, shift %, and then semicolon on that. Close off some of these round braces. Bish bash bosh. Jobs are good, and it's a lambda, so let's just be lazy. Not 7. Capture 7 things. The first 7 things you want. And then this will be a entity. I am fully prepared to say that I've been using Vim for about 10 years and I did not realize Shift D was delete to the end. I've only ever done $, so I learned something new today. So thank you very much. And I'm sure it was, I think Vim and NearVim is full of little tricks that I don't know. I don't think I ever knew that. I think I've only ever done $. Like with like $. So yeah, just then what's C do delete? Yeah, I never realized that. But yeah, I think there's only right. Let's oh, and to round it all off, we need to go to stud ranges to stud vector. All right, now we don't need this. What have I done wrong? Pretty sure this is right. Like, yeah, it looks like C has changed the end. I didn't know that one either, so I guess I'm like, oh, are we so much more efficient now? So much more efficient. Niebler he's a tricksy fellow. You got to watch out for him. With his Niebloids. Which is just a colloquial term for a semi-regular cheap to copy function. Let's go get the compiler to tell me what's going on here. If I had one complaint about C++ ever at all, still going. No operator found which takes a left hand over ranges transform view. It could be it's going to try everything it knows. It's going to try it's tried every single pipe operator it's found and be like, this is the problem with the template errors, right? This is an problem with template errors is that the compiler is on your side, right? The compiler really wants your code to work. It might not seem like it, but it does. So it will try within the rules it has every single substitution and like implicit cast, And then when none of them work, it will tell you everything it tried and let you know that it didn't work. Try using cout and printing a struct that you've not given it, you've not told it how to print it. It'll be like, I know how to print an int, and I tried turning it into an int, but I couldn't print an int. I know how to print a ball. I tried turning it into a ball, but I couldn't print a ball. And then it will tell you all those, and it's great. And I think that's what it's done here. Yeah, look at all this. What is all this? What is all this? I am fundamentally missing something though, because I could do it with a loop, but I feel compelled to not. I can see, look, you can see in the template, here, right, what it's doing. So it's got a view all over the basic strings, right, and it's trying to transform those, and it does the transformation, but why will it not? Outrageous. It's just outrageous. So glad so many people are here to see that. How is the silence now that I've changed up the noise filter? People were complaining that when I stopped speaking, it was like deathly silence. Hopefully now there's a little bit of like continued background noise. Sound is excellent. Yeah, I had to spend a non-trivial amount of money on many different mics to try and find one that worked in my tiny little, very echoey office with hard floors. So I'm kind of glad I settled on one that works finally. Got a Blue Yeti somewhere. That did not work. Oh, no. Right. Level. Hello. Level. I do want to get a soft rug for the floor. That might help a little bit. No, the skybox has been there for a while. No, because the roof was rendering above the things. Yes, I did have one. And the cat peed on it and I had to throw it away. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Do you think there's any room for a possibility of C++ to get replaced with some modern and less verbose languages in game dev? So I can't speak to game dev because I've never worked in it in the industry. With the way it is going and the emphasis on memory safety, I do think that unless C++ has a massive shift to make it easier to write memory safe code, I think it will become increasingly harder to justify writing new projects in C++. I think that could very well be the case. However, I think there is more than enough C++ out there and more enough interest in it to keep people who are interested in it busy for many years. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's less and less new C++ projects. But when you've got massive libraries like Unreal, like you're never going to write Unreal. Like let's be honest. So, and if you want to use Unreal, you're probably using Blueprints, but also C++. So there's that. It's hard to predict the future, but I could see unless profiles really lands, like safety profiles really lands, which is currently up in the air whether it will or not. Yeah, I don't know. I'll still be using it. I think all languages have a shelf life. Mr. Sir, glad you're here. Glad you found the channel. Hope you're enjoying it. Indeed. Bloody cat. It was the black and white cat as well. She's a menace. The floor is gone because it's not loading it. Okay, there should be a floor, but it's not there. So why? Oh, I better delete the code. Why did I delete that? I just threw away the code that actually adds it to the scene. not my best today. It's been a long week. Yeah, I think you end up scripting games in more and more high level languages, and then really turn to C++ when you need the real power. Feel that? Got a little. Oh god, that's can't make people sing. That's sure as a level. I like how it's also got a nice big floor as well. That's handy. Oh, there's some Z fighting there. Have to fix that at some point. What's that Z fighting on? Oh, it really doesn't like that, does it? I think that's supposed to be. Hang on. Side by side comparison. I think that's supposed to be empty. Is that a? How do I delete something in this godforsaken tool? I think they've slapped a texture over it the same size, and that's what's Z fighting. Wait, what's this one called? Skylight glass pane. I think I want to get that out of here. Oh god. How's the stream quality for everyone? You're really processing all those. How's the compression dealing with all this rapidly changing color? On Friday, I am getting a new internet line, which is gigabit up and down. So hopefully that will make at least I will not be the limiting factor for streaming at that point. So we'll see what happens on Sunday, but I'm hoping it's all sorted by then. But yeah, I should be getting a much. Well, I've already got gigabit down, but only like 200 up. So I'm getting synchronous gigabit on Friday. It's also my aspiration to get a new PC within the next 6 months. Okay, so what did I want to get rid of? The glass panes. Or was it? No, it was the skylight glass pane. Go to that. See if that fixes it. Oh. Interesting new formatting that Clang Format's decided to go with. It turns out that line was the deciding factor between all in one line or split across several columns. Who knew? I'm actually quite pleased. Like, I was expecting this to be a lot more complicated than that. A testament to the great code that we've already written. Like, it really wasn't actually that hard to integrate. I just got to pick the right format. So was it pick the right format, shout at WSL for creating random extra files, get the correct names out, and Bob's your uncle. And now I am a. Oh, it's actually. Oh, you can see the skybox through it. It's empty. That's cool. I like that. We'll keep that. And now I am a giant. Although I'm about the right scale to the barrel, so the level is definitely too small. Let's blow this up. Let's go. What do you reckon? 10x? I think as well that's wrong because I think the vector constructor takes a single argument that it will pass into the others, if me remembers correctly. Also, I don't know why I shifted it down by 3. I guess that's important. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know why. I've just copied the floor texture. We now need to. The next thing to do is to go and find all the individual textures, load those in, map those across. It's a whole thing, a whole ordeal. And then I think in Unity, you just click and drag your model in and say, I have one of those. But hey ho. Whoa, 10x might have been a little bit too big. I don't know. I feel this feels cool. Like I'm genuinely quite pleased with this. Like it feels like I feel like very. What's that? Have a shower. But like, look at the scale of the door compared to me. So we think this is right. So hang on. So question: do we think this is right? I guess maybe. Yeah. 'Cause I suppose these are sliding doors for like vehicles, aren't they? So yeah, maybe the scale is right. I feel I am too close to the floor. I think that's part of the problem. So the question is, can we change? So hang on. There's a couple of things I want to move myself up. Where's who owns the player? That's the cam. So one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So where do I stood move the camera in, if I remember correctly? I need to clean up some of these includes. They are outrageous. Might need all of this. Was it in the routine? Create camera. Here we go. Here we go. So let's move our selves up a bit. Oh, god damn it. I have muscle memory from my last project. Hot reloading is definitely possible. You have to compile your code to a shared object like a DLL or a lib file, but it'd be DLL on Windows, and then you just have a little file system watcher which checks if when either the timestamp or the hash of that changes, and then that will send a signal to the game to call load library if it's on Windows or DL open on Linux. So it's definitely possible. You still have to do the compilation step, but you can keep the game running. So it's a great point. Everyone's gonna be sick of hearing me say this. My philosophy of this game is to, as much as possible, only write code that gets us towards the end goal of making a game. And as I've not needed hot reloading yet, I've not spent the time doing it. If it gets to a point where it's like hot reloading would make a big difference to the development, then I'll add it. So that's my general philosophy, ignoring the self-indulgent coroutine based event loop, which I just wanted to write. I feel like, is that a bit better? Do we think? Too high? Maybe a bit too high now? Yeah, I feel too high. Let's do 10. Yeah. I might. I'm also so when we were let's just start the game on that. When I started this project and we did the rendering first, every stream there was something new and interesting to show. So I was doing lots of community posts and getting lots of engagement and showing progress. And then we've not had anything really kind of visually to show for quite some time. So it'd be nice to get back to like showing something. I don't know if I can just. I'd have to go through and look at the shaders we've written. I might have one that is just block color. Or we can knock one out quickly. I'm not sure how much time I get to do textures today, but we can start loading them. Yeah, Vomit Warehouse, good post. That feels a little bit better. I feel like I'm not kind of shuffling on the floor anymore. So hang on, sorry. Window, 3 seconds. Let's line up something nice. Let's get a screenshot like this. Cool. Nailed it. Oh, that's a lot. Oh. So that's so let me quit out this while I'm moving the mouse around. On my NAS community posts. And we'll call this vomit room. Okay, okay. I think the question was, can we make it look like grey or something a little less offensive? And the answer is almost certainly yes. What do we have in the way of shaders? I've got simple frag and simple vert. What do those do when they're at home? Simple frag. It does loads of textures. The only thing, actually, hang on. Where do we? I'll tell you what. The easiest way to do it is where do we create that checkerboard texture? We just make it with just the same color, right? Checkerboard frag. Checkerboard frag. So somewhere down here, it's going to. Here we go. So let's do 0.3 and 0. Make it a dark grey. Might be a bit too dark. Let's go 5. Our resources. Let's repack that. Let's build that. Repack the resources, and then we'll go. I could find some shader like GLS code that does pseudo random numbers. I need to put in some sort of randomness, something that changes like time, and I don't think I have access to time in there. It might be more trouble than it's worth in the nicest possible way, just because like the game is a little bit basic. Have I? Oh, is that what you were saying? The random 3. I thought you were saying generate like a random like 3 component number at the beginning. That's what I thought you were saying. Well, now we get to pack the resources again, which is a fun time for all. So you can do. Lost my mouse. This, right? But it involves you having some random noise texture that you can put in, or time, I guess. But I don't think I send in time. So it's quite a large architectural change when I think really we're just going to load the images, like the textures. But let's just see what it looks like with grey, a little bit less vomit inducing. And then we'll start figuring out how we're going to do all the textures, because I don't know how they're all mapped. I don't know how to figure it all out. It's all going to end up in some big flat vector in memory. Perfect. Has that even got any lighting on it? Oh, it does, yeah. It's just... Oh, I forgot to add some dynamic lighting here. That's exciting. That doesn't look right. Oh well, just pretend I didn't see that. I'm very much lost in the negative space. But I think we could stick some point lights in here. We could add some ambient occlusion. We could add some shadows. We could tart this up nicely. I don't even know if no, I disabled that imgui thing quite a few refactors ago. It's still the code is there. It's just not accessible. Yes, bear in mind it's a forward renderer, so there is a n times m computational cost for lights to entities. But sure, we can stick lights in those. Maybe some of them, maybe some of them are broken. Maybe some of them flicker. Okay, let's just revert that. All right. 0, hello, glad you're here. I used to play a lot of CTFs back when I kind of started my career in cybersecurity. I used to play loads, and I used to do lots of war games and stuff. I don't have time really to do them now, which is a shame. But I was part of a team, so it was kind of good fun playing with them, and I learned a lot from playing with people who were much smarter than me. Okay, let's comment on what we've got, and then we can start looking at bringing in some of the textures. I'm trying to think like what's going to be the biggest. Nope, that's far too big for streaming. What's probably like the floor texture, I guess, or I reckon the column texture because it's got like a stone texture on it. I reckon that's going to be the quickest win to start adding some stuff into it. And these are reflective as well. Fancy. They will not be reflective in mine. How does one find out the texture name? I assume it's going to be like, is there like one of these give me like the assets? I suppose I could look in my directory and sort of figure it out myself. I've got a normal map as well. Oh, exciting. Yeah, it's gonna look absolutely sweet. There you go. Boom, nailed it. And as well, let's not forget. Oh, it's gonna look crisp. Good job we added normal maps like 40,000 streams ago. Okay. What am I doing? So this was a so hang on. What are we doing? So that changed that. That loads that. So mesh, and I'm gonna keep this disabled for now. Disable custom culling in rendering. And that was what was that? Add mesh name to error. Load warehouse assets. Load warehouse assets into level. Not my best commit messages, those. Apologies. And then move player camera up a bit. Okay, nailed it. So let's think about what we want to do with the textures. So let's move over. Let's get that packed in. So I'm just gonna, not that one. Careful, steady. I'm gonna leak something I shouldn't. I was gonna show this to you again, I guess. I'm gonna rename these because concrete 0428_2k-jpeg_color is not the most meaningful, and I have a special naming convention, I think, for images, if I remember correctly. If they're sRGBs, I put that there, or if they're data, then I put that in there. It helps me differentiate what kind of assets they are, which then influences how the game loads them. So I'm gonna try and copy these over and hope that WSL doesn't decide to have a mad one and give me some extra bonus files that I do not care for. It has done. Okay, let's just get rid of those. I'm glad you enjoy the shorts. I'm a little bit behind on shorts. I got the last stream I edited, which was one from January. That's how far behind I am. I got like 9 shorts out of it, and I was like, oh, I am set for 9 days because I try and do one a day, and those 9 days have passed, and I've not done any more since then, so I'm a little bit behind. But this is where they will come from. This is the source of the Nile, if you will. So let's do concrete dot srgb and concrete normal dot data dot jpg. Do I support that in JPGs? Is a question no one has ever had to ask themselves in the history of game development before. Not if they're doing it for real anyway. It's like, can we load JPEGs? I've got a horrible feeling I do. Okay, it's in the image extensions set. Right. Okay. Honestly, don't know how much I'm going to be able to do tonight. It's only Wednesday. I've had quite a long week, and I'm already quite hot. We'll go for a little bit longer. Might just see if we can slap one in. It won't be generic. I might take out of that loop the golems and hard code that with a different material. Maybe. I think we can use the barrel shader because that just loads the texture in a normal map. So I could start looking at this now. In fact, something, the shader is the same, it's just the images that are different. So I think I can reuse the barrel one. Okay, hear me out. And then in the Lua level, I just have to change these 2 textures. Yes. Yeah, now we're cooking. Right, so let's take these. And what do these get packed as? Does it strip it strips the dot extension off? That's just for my packing, isn't it? I really should have these packing like as. So I think this is now concrete, and this becomes concrete normal. Okay, I've clearly not stuck to any form of consistent naming scheme here, because now I'm going to call this albedo. All right. Oh, now I'm going to delete it all. Okay, I'm just going to check super quick build and run that those load, that those are definitely in the asset pack. God, the viewer numbers on Twitch and YouTube are getting very close. It's exciting times. When Twitch can submit points to make me wear silly hats, then it's gonna be a game changer. Okay, I can see that working. You can't, but I can. And I suppose I shouldn't lie on stream. Okay. So now, Lua level, and then we can do that's true. I could break the well, it's a dinner jacket here in Blighty, but I could break the dinner jacket and the dicky bow out. What am I trying to do? I want to influence these two. I'm just gonna hack this in. Right, this is E equals columns SV, then resource cache dot get the texture, and call this concrete albedo. I'll get that. Okay, let's do this, and then we'll super quickly hack that in there, and then this will be concrete normal. Get out of here. Not my finest code, but when is it? Maybe for some number of points I'll have to go and find my cat. Right. Are we ready for this? I could have done a poll, but it's too late. I'm in the zone. We're gonna do it now. It's loaded. Well, that's anticlimactic. Have I got the name wrong? Pretty sure that's right. What happens if everything is concrete? Have we considered that? It's hot. I'm warm now. How's the PC doing? Oh, about 60%. No, sorry, 60%. About 60 degrees. It's not too bad. Someone's polling. I forgot other people have the ability to do that. Yeah. I must have a typo somewhere. I can't possibly understand how this... I cannot possibly understand this. It's loading the concrete texture. And the only thing is that it somehow repacked the other texture as this. But that seems almost impossible. No, because it's still getting the... No, where's it still getting the... It's getting the floor texture from somewhere, isn't it? No, it's definitely lowercase c. This would throw an exception if it couldn't find this. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. What does this code do? Give it a name. It gets the tuple. Sorry, it gets from the tuple the specific type of that, of the string map, and then if it doesn't already in there, expect inserted. So it fell on the key. It does just forward it to the text. Sorry, that's perfect forwarding, isn't it? So that will go to the texture, which will then call, which one of these constructors is it? It's TLV reader one. It's this. And this will scan the TLB reader for that texture. So if it doesn't find it, that will throw. So it's definitely found that. It's stuck it in with that name. I can't understand why. Have I got my normal textures the wrong way around? No. I know why. I know why. I know why. Don't worry. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Been a fool. It doesn't matter what textures you assign to it if you don't change it away from the checkerboard material. So I think this can be barrel, because the barrel texture should be renamed to just like simple, like normal map, albedo, whatever. Right, that'll work. Zariath? I can't really see the name, it's not popped up on my chat window yet, but someone has subscribed with Prime. Zariath. Much appreciated. Do come along to Discord. It's a grand time. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. I'm sweating. There we go. It is more blue than I was expecting. Because the barrels have a tint on them, don't they? Bezos money is always accepted. Thank you very much. It needs a new shader. It needs a dedicated shader, but that would be a problem for next time. I think that's fine. Like we're getting there, right? Is it? It's definitely in there. I can see the concrete in there. Like I can see it. I can see it. Right? It's in there. Well, next time there's going to be a lot of faffing around with textures and writing some new shaders and stuff. Cool. Okay, let's stick this in the git hole. I'm going to call this load texture for columns. Stream 64. Nice round number. Oh, right. Good result today. I did not think we'd get that far. I'm very pleased. I will try and remember to do a community post. I will. Oh, I need to kick off the build as well. Sorry, just so you don't think I'm doing any. Oh, because I've already tagged it. Hold on one moment, caller. Can I be out of this, please? What's going on? What is going on? Let's make. I always forget to do this. Commit bump version. So good, I tagged it twice. Stick that up in the GitHub. Right, so now I have a build script which does a release build, which I push to GitHub, which then sends a notification over to Discord, and then no one looks at it, but it's absolutely fine. I'm not bitter. Right, okay, that'll kick off. That does a clean build, runs the tests, packages it all up, and then I just click and drag it across. I'm feeling. Is anyone? Let's do a raid. Let's see if there's anyone doing C++. Hopefully you don't just get the chair this time. Which I believe last time we raided someone on Twitch, it was just. My understanding was a chair and someone arguing with their probably mother in the background. Anyone doing C++? Anyone doing C++? We've got to scroll quite far down to find someone doing C++. Here we go. DirectX 12 day 6 porting Skybox from Vulkan OpenGL to DirectX 11.12. It's got 4 viewers. Let's send people over there. Let's go say hello. He's using a light theme, but we will not hold that against him. Each to their own. You didn't file a bug report. Like, that is rude. Okay, everyone, have a good time. I will see you all. We'll do this again Sunday, and we'll add some more textures. And I reckon by the end of Sunday, we'll have a pretty sweet looking level. And then we'll spend a bit of time tarting things up, moving all the barrels around, and kind of making it feel a little bit more like a game. And then we'll take a view on what we do next. I will see you all anon.